Because everybody's always like, oh, you love Christmas. Like, why do you love Christmas? I'm like, because I always wanted it to be great as a kid. And it was always somehow foiled by people when I was growing up, because I didn't grow up with the money or the things to have much. But I always loved it. And then certain siblings or people that I don't know anymore would come over and ruin it every time. So as an adult, I was like, they will never do that to me again. And then I wrote All I Want for Christmas Is You, a while back. And it was the first Christmas song that I ever wrote. And then when it took on this sort of life of its own, I was always into Christmas. I was always doing my own thing, but it also just helped every year. Like, oh, I get to listen to my own Christmas album. And people were coming up and telling me, oh, we listened to your Christmas album in July or whatever. And I'd be like, oh, that's so great. But I've grown to love it more and more, just from a standpoint of like, it's my little song that so many people talk to me about. It sort of kicks off the holidays for them. So.
The Queen of Christmas has released a new book just in time for the holidays. Mariah Carey's The Christmas Princess is a picture book that tells the story of a little Mariah and how she survives bullies with music. I love that. Carey says the book is not autobiographical, but a holiday-centered fairy tale.
Okay.
Gail got to talk to Carey about her love for Christmas and asked her if her family shares the same joy.
Do your kids like Christmas as much as you do?
I asked them that question. I said,
And what was their answer?
I said, do you think you guys like Christmas more, or I like it more? Like, who do you think likes it more?
They said you.
They said, I think we can't choose. They said, I think we love it the same, which makes me really happy, because the last thing I wanted to do was shove something down their throat that they didn't like. Yeah. So we do a lot of festive stuff. We do roller coasters. We do, things that are.
So they love it too.
They love it too, and they love, the other times of the year that I try to make fun things happen. It's all about me giving them what I really wanted, which was just to do all the things that the other kids got to do. And so I just want them to know that it's special.
The holidays can be like a really tough time for people, yet you bring so much joy to people year round, but especially this time of year. How important is that to you? Are you cognizant of the amount of joy you're bringing to people at a time of year when maybe it's not as joyous for them, whether it's financial or family or otherwise?
Well, thank you for saying that I bring people joy. That's a very nice compliment. I think we all go through difficult times, and there's a lot of people that, especially during the holidays, they really kind of have a rough time with it. And that is the reason why I try to make people happy and to have a festive moment, just to get through it. Most people have a little bit of an issue with that. So I try to be there as a friend to anyone who needs one.
You are the Queen of Christmas. I've got a couple.
First of all, may I say, I never called myself the Queen of Christmas. Can we please be clear on that?
I never accused you of that.
You did not. No, you did not, my friend. But
Okay.
others have said, like, the self-proclaimed Queen. I'm like, really? I'm going to do that? They can look up every interview I've ever done, and not to get super religious, but I was like, I think, like, if anybody would be the Queen of Christmas, that would be Mary. And then somebody else uses my quote against me. Christmas is for all, and I just happen to actually really love Christmas because I grew up and I had kind of a tough childhood, and I always wanted Christmas to be perfect, and it never was. And so then when I was able to finally kind of like provide myself and my friends, and then later, now my little kids who are 11, hey, rock and roll. We have the most festive Christmas ever, but like it comes from the whole thing.